pickaxe elims. No scopes, and it is competitive Fortnite, but I want to see a little fun with it.
I'll be real quick. If you're waiting for a pickaxe limb, you might not get one, man. Like we had one, and I know we were spoiled with one, but that's like a once in a thousand game thing. You know, we just don't really see that much in competitive Fortnite. So if I was you, I wouldn't be holding out for that. But I appreciate the optimism.
Yeah, I always hold out for those plays that are hard to make because I just think it's such good content, so much fun. And Senpai and Drafto have got to be having a lot of fun getting an uncontested POI in first place, Levin.
It's weird. It's really weird because Tilted, you typically see a bunch of different teams wanting to go there, but this is clearly the respect they have garnered from the rest of the lobby, right? Nobody even wants to bother with Tilted Towers, even though in theory, somebody could land there and not even have to deal with them, right? If you landed towards the south side of Tilted, there's plenty of loot there. You can pick up a vehicle as well. Like, you'd be vibing, and you probably wouldn't ever have to even really interact with those two. So, fair play to the rest of the lobby. I guess nobody even wants to risk it. They don't want to even chance it that they have to get in a fight with those two because they can be such a force to reckon with, as we've seen in previous games.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to fight them either. I'll be real. No, thank you. I'd let them vibe. They have proven that they can and will dominate, even if they are contested. So 100% there's respect there from, even just myself, these players are giving them the respect, and rightfully so.
Grab it. And Shui, I know his name actually isn't Shui, but every time I see it, I just have to go Shui. Monkey and Speedy with that Sleepy as well.
You got to, right? It's just one of those things that you see it, you 100% you got to go with it.
100%, man. Yeah, I know. P5EK and Rapid, who we saw do really well last game, landing north of Sleepy. And Sleepy isn't one of those examples of a POI where you often do see the two teams that will land here live in harmony. One team goes north of Sleepy, the other team south of Sleepy. We'll get out of your hair if you get out of ours. We don't really have to bother with you. But every once in a while, somebody gets a bit too overboard. Somebody, oversteps their boundaries, gets a bit too big for their boots, and a fight breaks loose. And maybe this will be the game. Maybe it won't be. It probably won't be now that I've said that, but we'll see.
Hey, you got to hope for it. There's always hope that it happens. We could be optimistic. What I'm not optimistic though about is these impulse plays. We've seen it. Oh no, 11. Oh no. We've seen this before.
Yeah, but a different team this time, Modisk and SNW. They will get out a lot quicker and a lot more unscathed than what we saw in the previous game. But that won't stop Grev from looking to try and get involved still.
Yeah, they want those elims. They got it before. They want it again. I don't know if they know it's a different team, and they know, hey, we got rid of that team last time. Why not try to do it again? And hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
It is often the saying, but as you said, the circumstances are a bit different this time round. Modisk and SNW are much more dominant position, and some really nice aim to match it as well. Really nice shots, pushes Grev down to about 50 HP. And these guys are in the driver's seat right now.
This is greedy of them to go back a little bit. Obviously you got to go back for the tank of the battle bus.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it is greedy. I think that's what they were ultimately playing for. They wanted to try hit some shots, force those guys to retreat so that they could get the mobility, get the movement, And now their game's set up really, really nicely in terms of, you know, we often see teams with tanks and a battle bus get deep into games, and maybe I was right here about a fight taking place at Sleepy. P5EK, really well last game, but what can they do this one? You can see Trick Shots has already knocked. Rapid is down to just bare bones in terms of HP. Literally, like, it looks like he's on like 1 HP. Things are starting to look interesting. QND using a truck as a submarine. Oh dear. It's not looking too good for him. The truck blows up. Trick Shots is knocked somewhere over in Sleepy, and he's down to just such minimal HP. And they are feeling it right now. They want to get back involved, but is that going to be the right decision? Monkey and Speedy have woken up to the situation. This is the South Sleepy team, and Monkey will hit some really nice shots. Rapid will be knocked as well. And just like that, P5EK and Rapid, the team that got the second most points last game, will be taken out of the game very, very early for their standards.
That turned so fast. It was going so well for them, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just doesn't. And as we swap over back to the Daily Bugle, SNW is going to be one of the ones getting an elimination there onto Flicky, and now it's up to 3 LCR to try to get some damage down. But just look at that aim. SNW gets another elimination. And I think the best way to describe what just happened in Sleepy is, oh, that's just Fortnite. Like, your game turns on a dime.
Yeah, and that was a really nice play from SNW there in that moment. Really nice tracking with the SMG. The movement as he was jumping up and down made the angle just so much harder for his opponent as well. Some really nice fundamentals there from him. Speedy and Monkey though, that's best case scenario for them, right? In terms of just the North Sleepy team being pushed by another team, having a bit of a fight there, completely forgetting about you, and then you can just roll in, sneak in, third party, and go about your business. And the zone actually plays perfectly into Modisk and SNW's hands, pulling towards that northeast. They're already positioned nicely up on the Bugle, and every other team in the lobby is going to eventually have to try rotate their way in there as well.
Taking a look at this map, we get to see a Daily Bugle zone coming through, and we're watching some interesting shenanigans, if you will, over here at Command. As 3JMY is, oh, what a perfect shockwave coming through there, 11. Shockwave into that launch pad, getting them out, and you know that Epic is not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, that's not ideal for them. Some swift little movement though, and their journey to the zone will begin. Will he look to cannon in? I think that'd probably be the best play to make right now. Maybe a cooler there to get some extra chug splashes. No, but the Clumberries will be alright as well.
How they get a tank as well out of that? Oh my gosh. Oh, imagine you could throw a cow catcher on a tank, Brevin. Just how, like, extra that would be.
Yeah, something about that seems unfair.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The battle bus has got one.
Something about that seems unfair.
Moving over to the Sanctuary, though, we do see Rocky Reels and IN7X blowing up the cars there, and I like that they're going early for that destruction of vehicles. But I mean, here's the problem though, right? You can destroy their vehicles, but they're just gonna go into another P.I. and get another vehicle. Yeah, they've got to invest in chonkers and the cow catcher, but those are pretty readily available as long as you're actively looking for those red toolboxes to break them up. So it's good. I like it. I love it. I love when players deny resources to other players, right? That gives examples of, you know, breaking vending machines, getting rid of the NPCs that give you stuff, you know, blowing up vehicles that are around you, right? Anytime you can deny another player resources as he hits a shot. What a snipe that was.
They're going to continue to do damage as well to the truck, which is nice. And a knock to show for it as well. Really, really nice stuff. Card did not see it coming. And just like that, his game flips on his head. The revive actually will be able to come in now. And as I say that, someone starts taking shots at them from behind. That is not great. And yeah, that's going to be the full elimination for that duo. Really, really tough stuff there. That's really unfortunate.
Yes, they had such a good setup. They're making their way into zone and then just, you know, you rotate the wrong way.
Good to see Grev back in the game with some decent HP. Obviously got 2 shield kegs as well, so if they ever needed to get him back up, I'm sure they could, with some splashes as well. You can see in the distance, Wagner and Hero and our first place team from last game. Oh dear. Oh dear, what's going on here? Seems like Wagner and Hero may be holding in Grev's duo, as they try to hold in another team in the zone, QND. And that's so interesting to me, right? QND and Trickshots obviously back in the game. We saw Trickshots get taken out of the game earlier at Sleepy Sound, North Sleepy. And his teammates scurried away. And the team that actually ended up causing them so much hassle isn't even in the game anymore, but those two are. So, moral of the story, never give up. In these lobbies, if you can get a reboot card, look for a reset. There is always that possibility that you can make something happen. And that's what these guys will try and do here.
Oh, and I see Kakarot up there to the north as well, Levin. So good to see them in this game. And Senpai and Draftel are just kind of coming through, and that's not looking good for them at all. But Draftel says, you know what, I got you, Senpai. I'm going to go ahead, get some shots, and they've already got a knock, Levin. They're just playing so well. It doesn't matter that they're out positioned, because with their aim, they're just able to take them down.
Oh, goodness. The one thing about these engagements, the one big difference between this and a regular build is just the time to elimination, right? You know, it just seems like these fights start and then bam, they're done, right? Whereas when we're more accustomed to build fights, these fights can be drawn out for much longer amounts of time. Maybe a bit more mercy in that sense, but these teams are just dropping like flies at times.
It's interesting to see how quickly, compared to, you know, like you said, the other ones, how quickly people just get eliminated. I think that's what you were pointing out. It's a very interesting stat. Like, if there was a way to track that, like, oh, what a good shot onto S&W. It takes off his overshield and 75 of their shield as well. And that's the problem. What they're doing right now is a great thing, but that's the problem with putting your vehicles too close together, is it's just easier for a tank to hit both of them.
Yeah, that's rough. This tank is not letting it up whatsoever. You could just see the relentless amounts of pressure. It's not going to stop it either way, but maybe they'll be forced to if S&W can hit shots like that. A nice little crack, one of the most satisfying sounds in all of Fortnite.
It really is. I don't know if there's much more things like audio-wise that when you hear, you're like, oh yes, let's go. Maybe hitting a sniper shot out of the air, you know, like a hip-fire sniper shot, maybe. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but like maybe.
Yeah, that might be one. I feel like that's one of the nice ones. Just the standard crack is just, it's always reassuring, isn't it? Senpai going down, which is, again, one of our higher seeded teams, or higher placement teams, I should say, going down relatively early. And so Draftel now has to play this game as a solo. What a shot from SNW. Wow. I've missed a heavy sniper. I really have missed a heavy sniper. That was phenomenal. And they will take Hero and Wagner down, the team that won game 1. And so these guys have just taken out half of the team that's in first place, half of the team, or not half of the team that's in first place, the team that won the first game of today. SNW and Modisc looking really, really nice heading into this endgame.
And it's funny, right? Because this is where they ended up landing at and getting those other items, and now are looking for shots on a Draftel. Double snipe shot coming through, I think, or a snipe tagged up with some AR burst, and that team instantly Rifta goes away. But I think they had a foot to stand on there if they wanted to get aggressive, and they are. They're going to Modus because they're going to take Rakan, going to be the one to do it. An instant rift to go coming through. Draftel will finish that elimination off, but SNW and Modus got caught out there, and they paid the price.
The caster curse for me today has been horrendous. As soon as I see a team looking good, they just instantly go down or have some sort of significant struggle. But Disc is out. SNW now has to play alone. Maybe I should just start jinxing all the teams I don't like. Well, there's no one I don't like in this lobby, to be fair, but maybe I should just shut up and not jinx anybody. How about that?
It's got to be someone. If it wasn't you, it would be me, 11. It just happens, you know. And I'm sure it's happening in Europe and NA as well. It's just the nature of the job. It's you wish well for these players, and then all of a sudden you're talking about them, and then they go down. I mean, INM7X is performing really well right now. I mean, look, I may have just cursed him right there, but you got to point out when these players are sitting in a good spot and performing well.
Adapter and Mansour making great use of the cow catchers. And the rocket, oh, that's nice. Mansour with some really nice shots there. Soriano goes down as well. The lobby starts to thin out a bit.
It is. And this is a very dynamic zone. Look at Kakara, who's just somehow managing to hide just out of the edge of view there. I like this creativity that we're seeing. This zone doesn't really offer for a lot of it, as it's in one of those spots that it's pretty open. So you've got to get creative. Draftel hiding in the long grass doesn't really have much natural cover there. Really will have to rely on those cow catchers. But with that natural high ground going over to Teams 11, I don't think there's going to be a lot there, as Kakarot will go down. They do get a knock, though, on to another player, so that's going to cause them some distress, as Draftel's trying just to stay up to get those points and make sure they secure, as Rakan just gets eliminated there. Mansour and Adapter, they've got the high ground, 11.
Yeah, Draftel went down in 5th place, but what people don't realize is that the deeper Draftel is able to stay in these games, the better, right? He just continues to increase the lead that they have, so really nice stuff from him to stay up and reach that top 5. Mansour and Adapter, though, up above, or at least Adapter is, and using the Anvil rocket launcher to great effect. Will be forced inwards as the zone continues to pull in, but I like this position for them. Mansour as well has the potential to get a flank. They probably believe there's 2 players up there, so the moment Mansour pops out from the side, things could get really awkward for them. The shockwave throw was misplaced, but the shots won't be. NM7 and Rocky Reels doing everything they can, but everything is not enough. They go down to SMW in the bush, who stayed alive as a solo. The Riftigo will come out, it will keep him up for just a moment, but with just such low HP, he's 1 shot away from being out of the game, and he will go down. But a brilliant display and a brilliant play to actually take down one of the remaining duos, or half of one of the remaining duos, and so this makes the job of Mansour and Adapter that bit easier. They've got to be careful, though. They don't want to throw this lead. And M7 with an MK probably would prefer, the burst from this moment. And I think they have a better understanding of their positioning, and that won't matter because Adapter will drop down, trying to go in for the elimination. and it will come through. Brilliant stuff. And Spy! It's Spy! It's Spy again! Spy! Oh my goodness, it's Spy again in the storm, stealing second place away. Oh, he cannot be stopped. He's an absolute menace. I feel like this is just how every game is going to go. There's going to be nothing that stops him from getting second place every single game. Oh my goodness.
Well, and I mean, it's showing how viable the strat really is, right? Like, let's say someone does, in fact, do that in a actual competitive setting, not actual, but in a regular competitive setting, right, Levin? Like, we've seen it in many different seasons, many different chapters come through. The heel-off has always been strong. But imagine you're able to do that during the FNCS. Imagine you're able to pull that off. That's pretty big.
You can't pull it off, though.